For me, my kids are the best experience. My daughter has 8 years already, but she was start running and working with a computer when she was 5. Both of them have a Facebook profile. I don't. I didn't have the time to put my profile there. But them, they are there. And I think they put me also there, but this is a different story, which is a thief of identity, so we can discuss it in a different way. Now, getting back to what is happening in these days, and even more to what your computer is doing today, how difficult it was to change your last mobile phone? I will not ask you about the last computer or the last laptop. Your last mobile phone, when you switch, not very difficult. Everything was smooth. You move all the contacts from one supplier to another one. Yes?
When I changed my phone, I just from computer.
Like that. You use some cloud, probably some cloud infrastructure, or only in local one? Okay. You are an IT specialist, right? A technical specialist, yeah. How do you think about your family? Did they change their mobile phones in the last 2 years? She is also a technical person. How it was for her in terms of experience? It was a smooth experience? Everything is smooth. I don't believe you. I changed this phone. I moved to a long time ago to an Android and moved from a Nokia system. Moving the contacts, and I have something like 500 and plus contacts in my agenda, meaning person which I'm doing business with, partners, customers, colleagues, all around the globe. Moving, and I have there I'm pretty organized. Capitals for the family name, normal one for the first name, email, mobile phone, address, so on and so forth. Quite a large number of details. When I moved from one platform to another, half of the details vanished. And I duplicate all the contacts. It was a full mess. And I did it by myself. So when you tell me that it was simple, I will challenge you. It's simple because you know what to do. But for the regular user never ever, speaking about storage, will think about price, or will think about bytes, or will think about SATA or SAS or nearline SAS. Never ever. You know what it is. And I didn't put here something else. It's not important for them. For them it's important, I'll show you a tool right now. For them it's important to click on the get the report and have the report. That's the important stuff for your users. For your user is never ever important, do we have 5 virtual machines on these servers or 6 virtual machines? Can we squeeze the 7th? Who cares? That's not your user problem. His user is this. It is expensive to get more, because when you said to them, I'll ask you for a new report, you'll probably say, a new report needs a new OLAP, a new SQL server. Complicated. No, we don't have it. It's the normal behavior. But if you're looking here, how can I be more agile? What means, and I give you the example of Sun Microsystem earlier. Sun Microsystem had at the moment in time in 2000, probably almost at least one server in every data center, at least. Yeah? A huge number of applications. What happened? Well, they get stuck, and they didn't want to change. They said that that's their behavior, that's the way to go. Java, excellent at that time. After that, I have a customer in Bosnia which says, if your product is based on Java, I think twice if I'm going to buy it. Because it is very complicated. It is his point of view. But we will see many of customers like that coming saying, I had such a tremendous experience with that kind of technology that I don't want to experience anymore. Is it true? Is it wrong? I don't know. This is not available for everyone. As in my example from the start here, even if we put a very generous subject like storage, we are not thinking about the same stuff. Remember when I joined this industry when the floppy disks were available in 8.5-inch format, when a hard drive's weight was probably 100 more than the capacity it was able to store. I mean, the first hard drive I saw, it was a 10 megabyte and it was the size of a chair. Yeah, that's my understanding. Well, probably this kind of light here shows some time spent in this, around this industry. But when I bought the first computer and I saw the internal hard drive, 350 gig hard drive, my first notebook, I said, I will never fill it up. It's too big, never ever. It's not possible to fill it up. Yeah, we have 3 terabytes disk today available in the industry. And by the way, I'm running a 250 gig or whatever SSD disk internally in my computer. And I can testify that I know what occupies 30 gigs. The rest, I don't have a clue. And it's 70% full. Tell me if it's not the case for you as well. Tell me if this is not practically what you experience. The fact that you can't change from something which is very fixed, determined with a large number of borders, pretty well put together, and you just want to make a next move, to implement a new application, or to start a new service, or, by the way, VMware 5 sounds interesting, let's test it. On what? I can't release some infrastructure in order to test it. I can't see if this is functioning or if it's relevant for my environment. So that is something which I would really challenge to look on it. This is what we want to go and where we want to help you. And in today's budgets, which are shrinking, are going down, which are due to whatever economic crisis or whatever decision, all the IT budgets is going to shrink. That's clear. But in those IT budgets, even today, we are spending a large amount of money keeping the lights on. Meaning maintenance, services, renewal of software maintenance, or whatever. Our goal is to help you to release some of those budgets in order to do something new, in order to make things more simple. And the way to do it is to put it in a strategy which will help you to be more efficient. Actually, those you see couple of times in our presentation. To have the things standardized means they are easily integrated. To have the things simplified means I don't have to have a university in licensing in order to put a solution to work. How many of you tried to license once a backup solution? Tell me about your experience. You need to pass a university of understanding the licensing model of a specific vendor. And after you move to the new vendor, guess what? You need to take the second university of that vendor because the complexity of the software licensing is impossible to understand. Automatic means, well, if I can put the appropriate information at the appropriate place in the right cost, why shouldn't I do it? That's automation in our world. Open, capable, affordable, we speak about it in a way. The main idea is to make the things more easy to understand, more easy to implement, and to take part of your load of day-by-day job to systems which are doing it fine, or are doing it in a standardized way. Okay, now, this is a slide which I love very, very much, because it speaks about backup and restore. How many of you did a backup this week? Last week? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Wow. Ooh. Very good. Thank you, gentlemen. You know, have you tested the backup? Huh? How did you test the backup? Did you restore everything? No, you test 1 or 2. Did you backup on a disk or you did backup on a tape? Disk. Approximately you're fine. But this means that your disks are still in the same location as the other one. Remotely. Another building. Another city. Another country. Other continent. No way. Other planet. No, stop it. My experience with backup, especially if at the moment in time you have a tape somewhere, is that you have only 2 choices, only 2. Either you are paranoid about recovery and testing the procedure millions of times, and still you might have some issues, but the issue will appear at the moment in time. Either, the second option, every single Sunday, and every single morning, you're going to church, pray, have a good relationship with Mr. Upstairs, and say, God, please help. But at the moment in time, either himself can't assist you, because you have users, and your users will delete that kind of information which is not supposed to be deleted, which is clearly marked, do not delete. I don't know, you told me that you are a technical guy, and I have the same role at home. Every time I'm leaving home, something is happening. Every time. And last evening, I was together with my colleague having something to eat late in the evening together. And my wife called and said, what are you doing? Absolutely fine. I'm glad you're doing fine because I'm doing bad. How come? Well, I tried to work and nothing is possible. Okay, now that's normal. But what are you trying to do? I'm trying to print something from my laptop to that printer. There were beep, 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 a large number of beeps to myself, to the printer. And I'm asking the same question every single time. What have you done? What is the answer? Nothing. So you either know my wife, which will be challenging, or you have the same experience with your users. She's not supposed to know if the IP of the printer was changed or not. She's supposed to open the computer, press the print, go there and pick up the papers. That's what it's supposed to be. And it's simple. Well, guess what? It's not. Because we decided to implement, I have 5 computers at home, and I decided to look at what my kids are doing over the internet. Because, well, I prefer to be at least aware what they are doing. Now, if you are trying to see what they are doing and trying to filter a little bit the content of the internet in order to not allow them to see whatever, you will get into issues like, well, maybe your wife just come out from the office and she has yet a similar IP address because she visited something, and that IP address is filtered. And if it's filtered, that can't get access to the other network, which is including the wireless printer. So it was one of those kind of situations, and it was a large number of, can you ping that? I don't know what ping means. Okay. Just shut down the computer, open it again, and it will work. It worked. But the reason here is that unless you are 100% testing and 100% seeing exactly what is happening, you'll still not be able to make points regarding what will happen in the infrastructure. And I'll give you one example from my country. There is a building in Bucharest, a large one, which due to a thunderstorm and due to a thunder start burning from one commercial. Here is only available in Romania that a building which is heated by a thunder on top of the building start to burn till to the ground. But this is a different story which I will not get into details. But due to this the building is an office building and has multiple levels of companies, banks, even the World Bank has some offices there. It was a truly mess because it happens at 10 p.m. On Friday evening. Now, on 10 p.m. on Friday evening, it's a challenge because, first of all, there's nobody at the office, and second, everybody is somewhere drinking something. It's Friday evening, yeah? So until the police came, firefighters, civil guard, whoever, the security of the building didn't allow the firefighter to enter it. Ta-da! Why? Well, we didn't burn enough, sorry. But the nice part of it is that one of the companies which were located at the 4th floor was a company which I know very well. We implement there a disaster recovery solution, and we were looking, now that's the time, that's the time to real test. Yeah, all these months of testing, pain, procedure, yes, we'll see if it's functioning. And we were, now we'll see. Now that's the point. Well, the procedure starts to move, the nodes, the VMware replication occurs from one node to another. Everything went absolutely okay. The computers even worked for a long time until they were disconnected because they remained without power supply. The UPS started, but because there was no load, it was shrinking the load, and the server was still running quite for a unexpected long time. But this is IT, nice stuff. It was okay. The beauty part starts on Monday morning. On Monday morning, the general manager of the company saw it and said, okay, not good. Okay, let's move the people. 6 there, 20 there, 100 here, 50 there. And when you start moving people like that in different branches, you get into a problem like, can I get some additional desk chairs? Because they first think is where they sit, not how they work, but where they sit. So, turns to the procurement department and said, guys, let's put an order for some chairs to that supplier. Sir, we cannot. How come you cannot? No, sir, we cannot. Why? Well, all our orders, because it is our procedure, has to be digitally signed, and the computer with the digital signature is there at the 4th floor. Dirty words, bloody idiots, take a piece of paper, old style, fill it and stamp it. Sir, we can't do it either. Why? because according to the same procedure, the stamp has to stay close in the same office, in the same desk with the computer with the digital signature. So actually they were blocked for 3 days without being able to do anything because the policy was to have the same signature and stamp in the same stuff. So as you said, I'm testing every single day. Well, yes. Have you heard about Mr. Murphy? Nice guy. Now, this is another one which I love it because it's published by IBM. That 1 terabyte of data means 1 million in investment. You say, Sherban, I don't know what you smoked last evening, but definitely was not a good quality. Well, I didn't smoke anything. I quit smoking quite a long time ago. But this one here actually means how much you are protecting in the terms of data, how much people you are paying, what is the footprint. If you add all the cost, licensing and stuff like that, you will reach this 1 million in budget just to increase 1 terabyte. Well, take it like with a little bit of salt and pepper on top of it because this is, of course, based on US. Yeah? But even if you're coming where the data center are older, yeah, and changing those data center is not a simple stuff. How many of you have heard about the terms of mainframe computer? Mainframe. Yeah? Did you upgrade a mainframe? Really, I'm not joking. It is possible. In order to upgrade the mainframe, you take this kind of piece of whatever, small one, and you put it there. And after that, you go to the financing department and you said how many zeros you like because it doesn't matter anymore. The mainframe was so proprietary that only myself can do it. There's nobody else, myself as a vendor, right? Other people can't do it. It's not like in x86 servers. Well, the difference between that and that manufacturer might be not so evident. Some can be more price, other can be more service-oriented, other can be whatever. But in terms of functionality, they are doing quite the same. This is standardization. This is what we work for. It is our DNA in terms of concept. Now, mainframe is totally different and is keen to this one. If you're looking right now, there are some vendors in the market which will ask you to buy me, take me. I am the one. I have the cheapest price. Check their price. Check their software licensing scheme. Check their maintenance cost. Not only for 3 years, for 4th and 5th year. And you'll see some very small letters saying something. Put your glasses, magnifiers, and ask for it. Now, let's go further and let's talk about what's happening with the data. That's a real stuff. The number of files we are storing is increasing. We spoke about earlier today about this. Are you checking your email on the phone, right? Yeah, it's normal. I'm doing the same. Is it secure? How do you know? Thank you. Are you using cloud computer? No? Huh? None? So you don't use Bing, you don't use Google, you don't use Yahoo, Amazon. Tell me more. Facebook. Face what? That's a good. He's coming back from Force 10. Yeah, that's a good customer for Force 10 as well. Thank you very much. Now, correct. And Twitter, for instance, and other social networking stuff which change our behavior. Look at what happened in the Middle East due to social security, social network stuff. Yeah, it changed our behavior. So it's not something which we'll laugh on. Remember that everybody laughed on Bill Gates when he said that his dream is a computer in every house? Everybody laughed on it. It was 1974. Everybody laughed on it. In 1986, they didn't laugh too much. And in the 90s, it was real. So nobody laughed on it when he said, I see a future when every home has a server. None of them laugh anymore. Because we are doing it today as well, already almost. Now, the very funny part of it is that you're opening the second time only a very small portion of it, of your files which you are created. Japanese style. How many times are you looking to the photos of the last weekend? Yeah, not really. How many times you are deleting the photos from your last holiday? Well, I want to have some proper meal when I get back home, and I want to be sure that my wife will not kill me immediately after I delete whatever pictures, because she considers that those are very important. Yeah? Imagine your sent items. You are using an email, probably client. How many times you are reading the sent information? Huh? It's, this is why I have this kind of stuff. Yeah, you are using, oh God, what I've sent, or how can I solve this? That's the reason, when you're looking to send items, is just because you want to see what happened in the past. Are you going to change the past? Probably not. Yeah? But all this information, come on, it's open, welcome. But all this information will remain there, will remain on very expensive disks, because what we are speaking here is your email, or your SQL server, or your enterprise, your CRM, ERP, whatever, BI. It will stay on very expensive disks. Why? Because that's the policy. Make yourself comfortable. You have a coffee there. There are some disks in front. And Romas is already having his invoice prepared for. Okay. The difference is what if. Guys, I'm not eating people, so you can stay here closer to me. The difference is, you've been to Microsoft? You sure? Because they are a good company, and they are good friends of us. You should be there. Now, the difference here is that, what if? Now you impress me. If you open a Dell computer, you really impress me. Shut it up. You don't need it. I can testify you don't need it for the next half an hour. The difference is that we can do it in a different way. We can, whatever, provide you when it's requested. We will see in the second part of the presentation some demo regarding this one. And I'll put a contest here together with Rumas. Do you want to run it in your environment? Run it. Yeah? We will leave this unit for our customers in Lithuania for the test for the next 3 weeks. If you want to run it, just talk to our colleagues here. They are good in doing this. They have strong expertise. This is not their first box selling, so they are absolutely certified to help you to prove that the performance, you can have it, it's here. And what you'll see, even today, is that you'll simply love it, because storage should be simple, right? Shouldn't be very complicated. Now, the second one is, what about being based on standards? You remember that it was a time and everyone wants that. What's this? Fiber channel, right? Okay. But fiber channel in terms of implementation is at least a little bit tricky. Has an implementation at Dell, a different implementation at Cisco, somehow different implementation at HP, somehow different at the top. It's not quite standard. It is quite difficult to put it in the same way? Well, iSCSI, it is standard because it means using of Ethernet. Ethernet is standard. Now, when we speak about iSCSI and fiber channel, I will not say one is good and the other is better. I would say sometimes one could be better than the other. So let's put it like that. We have today Ethernet, right? And we are running 10 gigs today, right? We have today also fiber channel, currently running at 8 gig per second, right? And what do we have? We have also InfiniBand, right? QDR, DDR, 40 gig per second, yeah, in terms of capacity. Why you are using this one? Mainly, the protocol has something specific to it, low latency, but it's difficult to be routed at long distance. Now, our view here is that in the future, we will see a convergence of the network, and actually, we have clear path for 40 today. The standard is already available. We can speak also about 100. I think that the first switches will reach the market somewhere in September next year, even if it not be more advanced. But the 100 gig as an Ethernet protocol is available. Now, when you speak about fiber channel, well, fiber channel is today at 8. They start to appear the 16 gig fiber channel technology. Practically there remains only 2 large vendors, one of it being Brocade in terms of connectivity, the others Equallogic, Emulex, and the others providing also the cards. In InfiniBand, well, InfiniBand stopped somehow at Mellanox, and who's the other supplier? Yeah? Equallogic. In order to go further 40 gigs, I didn't see yet any plans, but that's a different story. This is why I'm saying that our view is that it will be a convergence of the Ethernet. This doesn't mean that the fiber channel will be excluded, or InfiniBand will be excluded, or Ethernet will be excluded. No. The main reason will be that those technologies will coexist together for quite a long time. Why? Because there are plenty of customers which are running currently an SAN solution with servers and storage in fiber channel time, and they want right now to integrate some new technologies in iSCSI. So this is why appears a new technology which is called fiber channel over Ethernet, just in order to accommodate old islands of storage in the new networks. Now, okay, let's put all of them on the table. Another view which we have is, well, traditionally, when you buy a storage system, you buy that one. And if you want to upgrade it, well, you have to migrate the information, and it's very complicated. And again, one of the things you'll have to do is to buy the software licenses again. Why? Well, because this is your vendor policy. We want to offer you a new approach, a totally new approach in what this means. We saw a large number of companies doing different policy for different activity. Well, what we intend to do right now is to create a platform which will allow our customers to use both network-attached storage as a storage area network using only one technology in a fraction of cost. Now, this is our, let's say, portfolio in terms of solution. Sorry. Okay, we start with Equallogic, and we managed to put quite a large number of customers to evaluate and to position further our technology. We are the #1 solution provider in iSCSI market. We acquired last year Compellent in what it is going to become our enterprise storage solution for the high end. We purchased Exanet, and you will start seeing FS7500 and FS8600 already appeared in the market. Practically is an integration with the storage array in order to provide unified file services. And the last but not least is Ocarina Networks. We spoke about it. We have a product already in the market today. We will speak about the ER4000 a little bit later. So practically what you see is a tremendous change of what Dell used to be. And Dell was, let's say 5-7 years ago, a very good supplier of laptops. Pink laptops. Sorry, business pink laptops. I'm from commercial. So it's a big shift. Suddenly we are not speaking about technology too much. We are speaking about the solution. We are speaking about how the things can be integrated easily. You see a large number of blueprints, websites which can be checked, and tools. But because we spoke about tools, I will ask your permission. Let me do this way, to show you something which we start developing these days. There is a tool which is called DPAC. The name comes from Dell Performance Analysis Collection Kit, and this kit is free of charge for you to run. You are going to support.dell.com. There are two versions. One is Linux, and the other one is Windows and VMware. And you get a report which sits in a way very similar to this one. So practically, I'm evaluating your environment, and if you are looking, this is a real customer. They run it for 24 hours. This is the window you are running, and it will start collecting all the information from the server side. So you practically, you don't have to install it because it's running only in the memory. You're not installing anything, and it's collecting the information from all your servers. Here there were 50 servers recorded, sorry. This is the total throughput and the number of IOPS in peak and at 95%. So if you scroll down, you can see each and every server, and for instance, you see here a large amount of latency. But I just want to show you a test we did almost yesterday, and this is about a customer in this region, and they are running a system which is at 99% at almost 19,000 IOPS. Now, going down there, look at the queue depth here. If you have 5,000 instructions queued in order to be processed by the storage system, well, that's a bottleneck of the system. Now, look what is happening also in terms of the latency. In terms of the latency, they observe 210 milliseconds. This is huge in terms of the latency of the system. We asked the customer if he was expecting to see like that, and said, yes, but not as magnitude. And after we still start digging in regarding his performance, he told us that, well, our customer, our internal people, when they click the button, they need something like 5 to 6 minutes to get the report. So we start having a very stark conversation with them. As you see, this is a Windows servers, 90% CPU occupied, a huge amount of throughput, and 100% almost is reaching the limit. I was looking for something else, but I can't see the ratio between the reads and writes. Ah, here it is. It's 97% reads. Now, those kind of tools are available for you. The only thing, it will generate a file which is in the format of, just a second, I will show you how it looks, the file. It's in the format of the IO kit. Yeah, this is how it's getting back. The size there, I think is not too much. It's several K, 32K for instance. So it's very easy to be sent by email. This will reach me and I will call you back together with a report like that, and we will discuss on each, myself, Dan, Andrei, Romas, we will call you back and we will discuss with you the exact requirements of your system. This is a service which you are putting at your disposal at free of charge without any cost from your side. The only thing we ask you is to run that tool for 24 hours, yeah, in order to have some input data. So that's a kind of information I was looking to share together with you, and let's go somehow there further. Sure. Now be so kind and tell me what you asked, because I can't speak Romanian and you don't understand anything.
So do I. I'm just asking if they have questions.
Sorry. Yeah. Sure. Okay. Now comes the whistles and bells and, you know, the monkey style dancing. Of course we are the number one. Of course we are in the leaders quadrant. How do you think I can present anything else? But then I will present you some two kind of information. Practically, is the same group which did the test for the industry. 1 year ago, Compellent was not in Dell portfolio, in the Dell family. It was a standalone as a company, and it was evaluated like that. And out of this, out of this test, Compellent was positioned pretty high. And the absolutely incredible stuff was here that all of them said, we will buy again. And this is because not only the product is good and the approach is good, but also due to the support which is available for the customer. The concept is called co-pilot, and means sitting in the same place together with the customer is something is happening. Now, the results in 2011, which were published in November last year, shows us in a very close par together with another vendor in the market. You say, well, why do you show this? Well, couple of reasons. Dell is not a very old company. Dell was created in 1984 by Mr. Michael Dell, and you know the bedroom in Austin University. So you know the legend there. But in terms of storage, we were not, let's say, huge amount of experience. We have a very good, strong collaboration with EMC for a couple of years, until we realized that in order to be able to position ourselves correctly, we need to have our internal intellectual property to clearly match our strategy. I don't know if you know what EMC stands for, but definitely stands for Easy Migration to Compellent. Now, the second one is, this is the hardware portfolio as we call it today. So we have an Equallogic range of product, an acquisition we did in 2007, Compellent, which was purchased last year, PowerVault, which is a very strong solution, and the DX, which is oriented in terms of a solution for the object archiving. Now, think about going to a doctor. You're going today, you're going after 2 years, you're going after 5 years. Now, think yourself going to a doctor, entering, and himself giving you the pills already from the very beginning. You will be, I'm not sure, are you sure you're talking to me? Because what is happening is exactly, you are expecting this behavior from us, and actually we are doing this behavior for quite a long time. Find a customer, and that customer has a storage requirements for 2 terabytes. This is the solution. Guys, listen, this is not the way. Tell me what are your needs. Tell me what are your IOPS. Tell me what is your profile. Tell me how you want to do the backup. Tell me. Let's discuss about it. If I'm giving you the pill from the very beginning, you're expensive. And you move out. It's normal. It's the normal behavior. My goal there is not to tell you that those are brilliant products, but are meaning nothing if I don't know what you want to do with them. I give this example several times. The difference in price between a Ferrari and it's national traditional. Okay, good. So the difference in price between a Ferrari and a John Deere tractor, it's probably very small. Now, if you take the Ferrari and put it in the field to do the crops, I doubt you can do it. Now, imagine yourself where? Monte Carlo, in a John Deere. Yeah?
Actually, it will be quite nice.
It could be quite interesting. You'll take all the Ferraris with you. But the reason of the example is, in terms of price, you can position anything. But let's make sure that those features are significant for you or not. Okay, in terms of who they are and what they are, and the workload approach on every single solution, the PowerVault is the entry model, is the entry solution, dollar per gigabyte, the best in class in terms of capacity. But if you want different kind of host integration like Unix, we know that not all our customers are perfect, and from time to time they do mistakes and buy HP. Yeah, we know, yeah, we understood. But if they want to integrate in here, well, they will need a different kind of solution, a high enterprise solution for it. In terms of the three pillars behind me, the three large solutions behind me, you see there the advantages of each and every one of it. I will not jump into details, but I will put it. I will leave you to read only the titles, if you like. Equallogic is a PS storage, means peer storage. It can discuss between them, and the easy of integration means a scalability, which is a scale out, while in Compellent, this is a self-optimized and very, very powerful system. What we can do with a specific number of disks, our competitor cannot, because we are not keen, linked, or blocked to any legacy solution in this respect. Now, getting back to Equallogic and what frameless technology means versus the previous one, well, when you have a technology like that, you have a storage which has two controllers, some interfaces, and some disks behind. Yeah, those are the disks. Now, if you take the other solution, it's happening the same. No big difference in the beginning, except that in the frame technology, you buy the full frame from the very beginning. Now, if you want to add additional disk space, what will happen is that you will buy some additional disk and you start putting the disk behind. Well, in frameless architecture, what is doing actually, when you bought the disk, you also buy the controllers. So what will happen with your performance? Actually, your performance versus cost will somehow increase better because you can have some additional controllers in your data center. So this will go further and further like that as you speak. Practically, that's the way. So this is how we are saying that when you put more controllers together, you also get more performance together, not only more capacity. So this is the concept of Equallogic, and when you put it more and more, the performance will grow. In the marketing way, it will be very, very exponential. We are considered ourselves. I still have a screwdriver on my desk, and everybody is trying to take it off because they want to make me a manager, a business developer, whatever. I'm still an engineer, and I want to remain an engineer for quite a long time from now on. This is true when you connect multiple systems. So you can connect up to 16 systems together in order to deliver performance. Any questions from here? No? Okay, so this concept was created with the idea of scalability in mind, but also with the desire of creating a very non-disruptive expansion, and not only like that, but also you have to buy what is requested at the moment in time. So you don't have to buy the full frame from the very beginning, you buy only the piece on it. Very interesting regarding the performance of the iSCSI, because I heard several times that this is not performant. I will show you a small calculation. So practically, will the Ethernet be a block? Well, I would say simply no, because practically at 1 gigabit Ethernet connectivity, you'll be able to deliver something like 100 megabytes per second. And if you take an average 8K I/O, this will divide it by 1,000. It will mean that you can reach up to 10,000 IOPS in 1 gig connectivity. Well, as this storage solution has 4 I/O cards, 4 I/O ports, meaning that you can transfer data on all 4 of it. This means that practically you will be able to reach something like 40,000 IOPS per array. Right? Wrong. The main idea is that's not quite like that. It's 100% linked to the IOPS delivered by every single hard drive. This is physics at the end of the day. So you will get something like that, 220, 250 for a 15K drive, 160, 170, depend on the implementation and so on and so forth, for a 10K drive, and probably around 80 IOPS for a nearline SAS drive. Yeah? SSD drives, it will be in the range of 2,500, 30,000, 3,000 IOPS. But here it will start the discussion. Do you really need an SSD drive? Yeah. What are you going to do with an SSD drive? Is it feasible? SSD is beautiful, and in today economic conditions created due to the lack of hard drives in the market, which is a real challenge. We have some pictures from that specific part of world from Thailand. If you want to see, it was a real mess. And I don't see too many good news in the last days coming, but rather bad news that the facility recreation is taking quite a long time. So we will see some disturbance in the market due to availability of the hard drive. But getting back, the SSD drives are an exceptional technology if you read. If you write on them, we will see. Yeah? Capacity versus price, it's still the balance. It's not new. SSD were created in the 70s, in terms of time. But in the last days, took some advantages because it becomes more cost efficient. Now, while we have 24 drives, the RAID 5.0 has 22 drives active. Actually, you can reach around 5,000 IOPS from a box with 24 drives in 15K space. Yeah. So that's where is the limit factor. I will never put it as this factor is at the network level, but at the spindle level. So if this is one of the concerns regarding iSCSI, is it performant or not? Well, let's discuss. If you are doing 'multi-point video streaming', I will say, yes, stay on fiber channel because the performance there is different. But if you are doing database, or if you are doing email, or if you are doing something like that, your reading, writing profile is totally random. It's totally random. If it's random, it's not a problem. The problem is with the Ethernet is that the profile of Ethernet is like a jigsaw. So when you reach this point, the line drops and all the communication starts almost from zero. There are some technologies to put it like to use jumbo frames or to use data flow in order to not allow these kind of things to happen. But if you are doing random readings, this is not influencing you at all. So again, there are some cases where iSCSI looks better than fiber channel, looks better because of technology, because of standardized stuff, because of using one networking administrator for doing also SAN and LAN administration. So, but also there are some good examples where fiber channel is better in large environment and things like that. Any issue? Any? No? We have to put something like a prize in order to make them. Okay. Now, in terms of a history, the journey with Equallogic started in 2003. We created a large number of series. We are at the 7th generation right now. We launched a new solution with PS4100 and PS6100, better performance, better software, and we also, starting last year, we integrate the network attached storage solution on top of it in order to create a unified storage solution. In terms of the software solution which are bundled with this one, practically everything is bundled together from the very beginning, so you don't have to pay anything. Or, I don't know, you are running today VMware and tomorrow you start moving to Hyper-V and after 3 months you just want to synchronize something remotely. Not a problem. All the software is included from the very beginning without any extra cost. And those software is part of the management, integration with Active Directory, scripting available, space-efficient snapshots, meaning that we are not doing copy on first write. We are taking a snapshot every single time, so we are not moving data between internally. We can do a multi-way replication today in an asynchronous mode, very soon in a synchronous mode as well, if it's necessary. And in terms of virtualization, it's a totally virtualized environment. So at the port, at the disk level, we are doing automatic balancing between multiple arrays. So we have here 2 additional arrays. We will balance the load between them. We will put the information on a faster disk, which are much often accessed, and the low accessed information on slower nearline SAS disk. In terms of the expansion and the evacuation, it's so easy to be done. It's one command, you do it, move away, go home, drink a beer, get back to the office, it's done. Yeah? So it's very simple to be integrated. In terms of data center integration, we are working with Microsoft for integration with the Hyper-V environment, and also with the Vmware together with it's totally certified for VAI, and it's also integrated with VMware 5, VMware 4 for 1 and 3.5, if I remember everything correct. But the integration goes to a very low level, so you can administer it directly from the vCenter space. And also we start doing the integration with Linux as well. It's available starting with August this year, and you will see more on this coming. So practically you will have access to all of this software solution plus whatever it will be developed for now on. For instance, today our customer cannot synchronize remotely in a synchronous way from Equallogic. The software feature, it will be available February, May this year, and all our customers get access to it if they need it without paying anything additional. Yeah. The only requirement, if you have a SAN solution with the first generation, the last generation of the array, is to run the same firmware. That's the only requirement we have in order to integrate two units together. That's all. Okay? Now, what is new? Well, some additional features in the version 5.1. Thin provisioning awareness at VMware level. I will not deep dive into any technical details because I don't think this is relevant for the moment. This is how they look like. In the past, we used to have the manufacturing outside. There was a company which is called Ceratex, and which was doing those boxes for us on our design. Now, starting with the 6100 and 4100, we are manufacturing those devices into our own facility, which is definitely much better from obvious reasons. Now, it has also the same design as the servers. We have also a solution which has up to 144 terabytes into only 4U space. Big one using 3 terabyte disks. Okay. Some information regarding the new technologies, 6 gig in terms of the interface, and we spoke earlier about fiber channel disks. Why do you think fiber channel disks vanished from the market?
Very expensive.
Very good point. They are expensive. Why they are expensive? Huh? Interconnectivity. Practically appears something else as well. The SAS technology, well, the main advantage of the fiber channel versus other disk was that you can multi-point initiate it, so you can connect it through different loops, and if something goes wrong, you still can access to that data. Now, SAS solve that issue. Second, you speak here at 4 gig per second, you speak here at 6 gig per second. This is proprietary, 100% in fiber channel. The specification for the disk are proprietary for whatever manufacturer. In SAS, this is standard for all manufacturers. So this suddenly, of course, everyone is creating its own bias and so on and so forth. Yeah, but in terms of electrical connectivity, this is standard. So suddenly, this is why all the manufacturing vendors are moving from fiber channel technology to SAS technology, because suddenly this becomes standard. Yeah, and it's cheaper. It's cheaper for the customer. It's cheaper for the producers as well, and much more easier to service during the field. Now, this is about the FS7500. We launched it as an integration between Exanet and Equallogic. It will be soon available for Compellent as well, and in 10 gig connectivity as well. Currently is supporting CIFs and NFS in terms of design. It's practically a redundant controller. You can pair multiple controllers in order to increase the performance. A single namespace is up to 519 terabytes. Quite a large namespace together. And you are using the same. The management is doing from one single interface, so you don't have different interfaces. And you will see at the end of the day what is happening. What is the time? It's okay. So the second part, it will be a little bit about Compellent. Becomes my favorite in these days because everybody is speaking around it. When we bought it, and you know, I remember that when we bought Equallogic, Dan and myself spent one weekend in the office, because you know when you saw the first presentation of Equallogic was, Yeah, rocket, yeah. We saw rockets in, let's test it. Let's find, the flaw. Let's find where the marketing was wrong. And the only thing we managed to encounter was when we have to reset the array. When you want to reset in Equallogic the array, the confirmation of the reset command, it's delete all my data now. And it's with D capital, whatever. It's quite complex. And you have to do it, it's case sensitive. But never ever we find out that everything was quite intuitive from the very beginning. And we didn't check any manual. So remember, the rules of the RFM, RBM, read the bloody manual, whatever it is. And that was the only moment which we really need to understand exactly how it thinks. The rest was pretty intuitive. We did almost the same with Compellent when it appears this year, and we get the demo unit, the first demo unit for us in March last year. And it was really, really impressive. At that time, I personally realized that we didn't do a hardware investment. Compellent is not hardware. Compellent is intellectual property and it's software. That's everything. Today, the controllers are simple x86 servers, actually built by Supermicro. Don't laugh. It will be changed soon, but you can't change very, very fast or as fast enough as we want. Second, I've told you we want to integrate those products and not to sell it like a disparate, separate product. So you can, there are some sites, for instance, dellstoragetech.com, which shows clear integration of those kind of solutions. Now, Compellent is about fluid data, and this is where it's coming from. Again, have you ever saw a disc jockey in a disco? It is running the disc and moving the disc in order to put the appropriate music. And now he has MP3, but in the past, when I was very young, they used to have vinyl disc, And those vinyl or CDs, those discs are actually the information, the data. You will not read, you will not hear the full music. You'll probably hear 30 seconds of that music. But it comes from where it's requested in that very moment at the appropriate cost. Now, this is exactly about Compellent. We realize that the data is agile, so it's put it everywhere. And if you have this volume and this is your drive, let's say D, which is the ERP solution, not everything in this volume is accessed at the same level. You will have some data which are from this monthly sales report, which are critical today, or those invoices for this month, which are critical today, but next month, last month's invoices are not so important. They need to reside in the system, but they don't have to stay on 15K drives. They can simply progress to a space where you have 7.2K drives. Here, probably you have 146 gig drives. Here, you have 3 terabyte drives. The main idea is to put the information wherever it is necessary to stay in what we are calling automatic tiering in terms of influence. The second beautiful part about this storage solution is that when you buy one software license, this is yours for life. So even if you change the controllers, the disk shelves, the ports, the connectivity, whatever, that remains there. So you don't have to pay it twice. And I think I have an example regarding this one pretty soon. So, everything in the storage system is virtualized. From the ports, from the controllers, everything is totally virtualized without any physical connection as well. Here the system is publishing like a number of storage pages, if you like in a large audience, large spectacle audience room where you have seats but like that movable. Yeah? Everyone can sit on every chair. There is no reserved space for anyone. Of course, some of them pay some tickets and they can stay in front, some of them another one. But in this way, every piece of information can have its own importance at the time. In terms of scalability, well, you can start with one controller and one shelf of disk. And you can create up to multiple controllers running together into a single implementation, what we are calling a super system. You can scale from, let's say, 3,000 IOPS up to 250,000 IOPS. So that's the range of the system in which we are working. In terms of technology, this is totally independent. Why? Well, as I've told you, those are standard servers. If it's standard servers, this means if the new technology, 16 gig fiber channel, will be available tomorrow, what is happening, this will be a PCI Express card which I can install in my system today. Yeah? Do I need to change the controller? No. I will just put a new card there which will start acting like a controller. Now, in terms of drives, it's the same scalability. I can have fiber channel drives, I can have SAS drives, I can have SSD drives. It's up to what your real needs are and what your real performance are. In terms of the licensing scheme, I will show you later a more detailed one, but practically, let's assume that you will have today 2 controllers and 2 shelves of disk, and this is 2012. And in 2015, for whatever reason, you will decide, well, I need to change the controller. All the licenses will be moved here without being necessary to buy it second time. Yeah? So it's no requested to buy it second time. In terms of the licensing scheme, initially there are 16 drives licensed, and after that you buy in amount of 8 drives until you reach 96 drives per the system. When you reach 96 drives for the system, forget about licensing. Yeah? That is considered an enterprise system, fully licensed, so if you put up to 900 disks here, you don't have any additional software cost. Were you going to put 900 disks here? Technically it's possible. Well, in terms of performance, probably you will be tempted to put multiple pods in the same location in order to create more performance. Additionally licenses software? No. The server system has to be fully licensed at enterprise level, and after that whatever you add in the same data center in the same location has no need for additional license. Beautiful, simple, and easy. Open, capable, and affordable. Now, in terms of pay-as-you-grow, you can start here, simple installation, grow as you need, replication, and with a solution which is called Live Volume. Do you know vMotion in terms of server? That's vMotion in terms of storage. Live Volume is exactly the same answer. You will move the information from one location to another without downtime. Initially, synchronous is replicated async. When it's doing the live motion, is synchronous, and after that is moving again in synchronous replication. Why you will not need synchronous replication? If someone deletes a file in the source volume, what's happening with your target volume? Is deleted from the target volume as well. Meaning, if this is my volume in Vilnius, and this is my volume in Kaunas, and those are synchronous replicated between them, if something goes here bad, it will go here bad as well. Yeah? So I will challenge you to think twice, 3 times, 4 times, whatever more, if you really need synchronous replication between them. There are industries where such kind of information must exist. Banking, transactional level, whatever. Yeah? But in the real time, an ERP solution in Vilnius and Kaunas replicated, me personally, I will do a synchronous replication from here to here every 1 hour. And only if it's necessary, and I will replicate only the delta and so on and so forth, but only if it's necessary to do a change of the infrastructure, meaning the servers were here and you want to move it there, only from the period of time when I need to do the change, I will synchronously replicate in order to not do any downtime for the end users. But the rest, well, it's better to have a strong turning point in the remote side than to be both of them corrupted. Do you have any questions here? I know it's beautiful. As I've told you, EMC means easy migration to Compellent. And that's one of the biggest examples we can have. Sorry. So with one solution, we can cover the full EMC portfolio. Now, imagine further worse. You bought CX200, yeah? Excellent choice. Very good machine. But when CX300 appears, or the CX500, 700 appears, you have a path of upgrading, right? Not a problem. What is happening is that you will buy the new controllers and you will keep the disks. Yeah, but the controllers, for the new controllers, you also need new software. So you buy the software again. The same it will happen when you jump to CX3, to CX4, and even worse, to VNX, there is no path to upgrade the controllers, because the new controllers are not able to run FC drives and only able to run SAS drives. Now, the same for EVA, the same for NetApp happens in absolutely the same way. Whenever you change the storage solution, you will buy new software. Do you think your CFO is happy to see this? Well, he will challenge you, why did you spend my 2 million whatever on it? Compellent, on the other side, is a solution which has no end of life. Practically, you change whatever appears the technology. When we launched the technology, probably 4 gig of storage was not able, 10 gigabit Ethernet was not available, FCOE was not available. It becomes available in time. Well, we just allow to insert new PCI Express cards into the servers in order to make this thing happen. I've told you regarding the DJ stuff. It's a solution which practically is dividing all the information in storage page. And those storage page can be progressed from one to another. Practically, there are multiple solutions. I can confirm to you that all the writes, it will be done in write 10. And all the reads, it will be done in write 5 without your intervention. The difference between those is price per use. Here, best performance for writing. Yeah? Not possible to have. Okay, write 0 is the best performance for writing, but is no protection in terms of data. The best performance with protection is write 10. In write 5, well, there is a very small penalty in terms of reading the information. But in terms of writing, yeah, because you have to write the parity as well. So what we are doing is actually, when I'm writing the information, it is writing on the blocks, and this is configured in write 10. When I take it a data instant replay, in Dell Compellent slang, this is a snapshot, the information, it will be moved from write 10 to write 50, but actually this is happening only at the storage page level, because I will not write the information again, but I will change how the parity is allocated. Okay? The same can be done between shelves of disks. I have a shelf of disk of 15K, 7.2, and 10K. Yeah? If this block of data, if this storage space is not accessed for 40 days, it will be progressed here. If this storage page is a snapshot, and this snapshot is overwritten by a different storage page in terms of capacity, this is moved automatically down there. Why? Because this means it's only available as a history. History means no access to the data. Put it down there because you don't need it to sit on 15K drive. So everything which is requested to go on the lower level, it will go on the lower level. Now, let's assume that your reports request some information which are sitting here. If you request some information which are sitting here, and this is, well, who can influence this? An antivirus solution, which is checking what is there. Or what else? A backup solution, or whatever. Something which will touch that block of data. You can specify the threshold until this block of data will not be moved upstairs. But if it starts to be accessed, it will be moved upstairs. A different solution, it will be, let's say, your payroll. You have your payroll information. The payroll information is not important during the month, but it's large. Why do you have to keep those on 15K drives consuming space without doing nothing? Well, let's put this on 7.2K and let's schedule it, and by scheduling, to move this one with 2 days in advance, to sit on 15K drive in order to be able to run it faster. After the payroll is finished, last week of the month, move it back. In this way, you keep the 15K drive where you have performance requirements available for performance. And this one available for the disk. Around 80 plus 85% of our customers are buying only large capacity drives, not 15K drives. Why? Because they have, in terms of the data, you are manipulating the same amount of data in a way or another. But you are accumulating historically much more information. This is why you need to put more space here. Any questions here? No? Okay. So, sorry. In order to put this kind of performance in place, we start from this concept of writing in write 10 and reading in write 5, and also with creating specific parts of the storage where we intend to put the information. For instance, this is your disk platan, your disk platan. Yeah? Okay, plate. On the disk plate, if you put the information in the outer part of the plate, the access, it will be from far much better than if it's sitting inside. This is called fast track. And fast track can give you a performance of 30% plus in terms of how the system will be able to work. Practically, putting the information in this space will create more performance. And this is due to the physics of the plate. The same is happening with the free space recovery. You have a thin provision storage solution. Yeah? This is fully thin provision. Now, in thin provisioning, you are uploading the information inside the volume. Internally, you are allocating probably 200 megs out of a 3 terabyte storage solution, as this is what Windows is reporting. But when you have a volume like this one, and you decide to delete this part, Windows is not signalizing in any way to the storage space that this part of it disappeared. And it will be still allocated for that LUN, for that volume. The option we put it is the free space recovery, which will communicate between the host and the server that this amount of information is free, so we release it to the global usage. Yeah. So another solution we developed in order to make the system very interesting for our customer was thin import. Thin import is a technology which helps us to easy migrate to Compellent. The main idea here is you have your servers today connected through a network to, let's say, a storage solution. Because my Compellent has standard servers internally. What I can do is, for instance, this volume, which is residing there, and it is in the green one. What will happen is that in the initial phase, you will map it like that, right? This is how it's mapped. The server, the host here, host A, will see the volume there. What I can do in this case is I will cut this wire and I will map this volume to Compellent. And my host, it will be connected here. Practically, Compellent will start requesting from the old storage array only the information which is hot at that moment for the host, yeah, for that server. And in the background, when the system has no activity, it will start move the full data until the volume, it will be moved here. When this is done, you can take this out. It's a very easy way to import it without recreating everything from the scratch. And leaves you with your data intact in the old storage. Okay? Okay, let's go further as we want to show you some additional more. We do not allocate space for the snapshots. Why? Because it's simple to do so. Because if I can work only with storage pages, this means I can work with indexes. So practically, I don't need to allocate some specific storage because that snapshot there, which I took it at a specific moment in time, I can decide it that can expire in 1 hour, can expire it in 2 minutes, or can expire it in 5 days or 6 years. It's so flexible in terms of how easy we can integrate with them. Another very interesting part of it, of course, those snapshots are mountable, writable, clonable, whatever, however you want. But very interesting is that we will provide you a solution to online test the disaster recovery, meaning that you can check what is happening if in your environment with a click of a mouse. And this is one of the problems we encountered in our solution in the past. It will be my last 2 slides here, and it's about reporting. The reporting tool is, in an American hero reporting, ta-da, that I did, excellent job, super trooper, this is how I achieved. It's also, it gives you the way of a single interface and multiple systems being able to be managed, but also give a solution which is licensed as well, and it's called Chargeback. when I saw this one, it was for me, this is a very good example for hosting industry, for instance, because you want to know how much customer A is consuming, and this is how he is paying. Yeah, and this is based on where the information practically resides. So here has a cost, here has a cost, here has a cost, but those are not equal; those are different. Now, here, the storage chargeback is a very great tool to demonstrate that not you, the IT, is to be blamed that you are using the company money. Actually, here it will be the accounting, engineering, manufacturing, human resources, whatever it is called, the department, they will all use information resources. So that's their cost, not yours. It's a very good way to demonstrate cost and profit internally into the company. Currently, it's only linked to US dollars. So you take the amount of the storage space, how much you spend, divided by the tiers, and that's how it's computed. But in the near future, it will be also localized, and we'll see also other currency as well internally. We spoke about Copilot as an extension of this solution. You can't have a brilliant product without exceptional services. It's simply not possible. And this is something which we developed, or Compellent developed from the very beginning. The team which is responsible for the development is located in the same physical location with the support. So you don't have I pick up the telephone saying green, 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 hello. You don't have this kind of message. Mr. Customer, you have a problem. We will call you back. No. From the very beginning, a skilled engineer will take the leadership of the case, and it will start working together with you until it's solved. Yeah? In a 24/7, 365 days per year. That's why the rating on satisfaction is so high. Of course, we have a large number. If you allow us to manage the system or to have interaction with the system from the remote distance, you can easily find someone at your door saying, Mr. Customer, we thought that you might have a problem with your hard drive, and you bring the hard drive. Can you exchange and bring us the failed one? So it's even without knowing, it is very simple to be integrated. And it's a clear requirement that this level of service to remain in place for the rest of the time. We also, because of the Dell Pro Support platform and the Dell DICE, Advanced Distributed Support, we are organizing a collaborative support, meaning that you have an infrastructure for Dell and, I don't know, an ERP from Microsoft and so on and so forth. But you didn't buy from one case. In case you have a contract for support with Microsoft, we will ask you to give us the contract number from Microsoft. We will replicate and recreate the issue in our premises, go to Microsoft, discuss with them, agree one solution, and get back to you with only one solution. It will not be, it's not from hardware, it's from software, sorry. And from the other side, hey, your bloody junk storage is not working. It's not like that. It's a collaborative, and we are speaking with our partners in order to support our customers as well. Next step is to see some demos, and I know that Dan is already shaking in order to show how beautiful they are. We can talk about Equallogic and Compellent. If you want to see some customers, we can also show you some customers of those technology which are able to speak your native language, if you like. Sometimes is I have this exercise 2 weeks ago, just before the Christmas, the New Year, together with a bank in Croatia, and they want to contact a customer directly by themselves and not to be with any Dell employee there, just because they want to make sure that their environment, which is Microsoft-based, in a banking sector with Dell and HP servers, is running okay on Compellent. We find a bank and we put them together, they sit together, they visit it, and they decided to go like that, and they decided for our solution at the end of the day. So it is working, this one. I promised to show you some slides like here. DellStorage.com is a very good repository for information regarding our storage solution. And on DellTechStorage.com you will see, but believe me, plenty on videos from YouTube also, where you can check how can I do it. Do you want to see an integration with Exchange and Equallogic? Search YouTube. Do you want to see how you can manage an Equallogic solution? Search YouTube. There's so many information available, video, which are very sharp and very clear regarding how to do it. You can't believe it. And I know probably some of you don't know about it. That's from my side.